out in Google Hangout, Facebook Live, Periscope, Africa, America, China, wherever you are, welcome. Welcome to the Monikah and Naja Show. Woo! Okay, so we're going to introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about us, how we met, and really why we're here, because we have an important message to share with you. Periscope. Why am I in Periscope? Because you're the Periscope queen.
I used to be.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You used to be, right? Facebook, Google. And I want to just share this with one more place. So if you can just be patient, because I promise it will be well worth your time. Okay. Oh, I always have this intense look. When I get frozen, I just see this intense look like, ooh. Okay, so let's see. Here we go.
That's your game face.
It is my game face. People are like, you look so serious. I'm like, that's a good look. That's a money-making look.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Okay, there we are.
Okay, now I need to make sure.
Okay.
Now, how's the audio? How's the video? You can see me okay? You can hear me okay?
Yes, I can see you great. The challenge that we will have today is that, hello, everyone. I'm on. If you are not over, you probably can see us now in one of the groups because we are streaming live across multiple groups. So welcome again if you are here. I'm here with Monikah Ogando. And hopefully you can also see Monikah as well as me. I'm hoping that that's the case, right? And I'm going to just hop in. I want to make sure that everyone can see us. They can see us. Okay, perfect. Yes. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump on in. All right, Monikah, Tell us who you are. Why are you here? What makes you great in this world?
So everybody, my name is Monikah Ogando. I am an Inc. 500 ranked CEO and executive business coach. And I've been doing this now for about 15, almost 16 years. Oh, is that the way you're doing it? Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I'm doing it. I'm just playing it by ear because I feel like I'm a solo. I feel like I'm a solo show over here. And I'm like, no, you have to be. Hey, Angie, can you see both Monikah and I? Are you here on my phone or are you on the Google Hangout? Technology is so awesome. It's like we're all over the place. Hi, Ange. Can you just see me because you're just seeing my phone, or are you on the Google Hangout? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Okay, Inc. 500.
So we'll just move the thing around so that when I'm speaking, people can see me. That was a perfect idea. A way to roll with the punches, I tell you. So what I was saying was, I have been an executive business coach for almost 16 years. It'll be 16 years in November. And I work with high-performing leaders. Some of them are men. Most of them are women. And what that means is that you get to a certain point, you get to a certain ceiling of complexity, as one of my friends, Dan Sullivan, likes to say. And at some point, there's not more time in the day. There's not more energy that you can expend. You're just going to have to work smarter, and you're going to have to leverage the resources, the people, the ideas that you have so that you can grow your business beyond you. And that's the thing. Those are some of the things that I help people do. And so I've done that through writing books. I've done that through speaking, I've had events or teaching classes, etc. And one of the things that I love the most at this stage of my business is to partner up with people like you, Naja, and because that helps me to leverage, not only my reach, but also the third mind that comes together as a result of two people coming together and putting our business, best foot forward.
Our brain power, as I like to call it, our brain power.
Exactly.
Right, and we have seen some brain power in the last few days working together, haven't we?
It has. It has been amazing.
Like the energy and the shift of having that whole like minds, that term like minds, it always has kind of bothered me. It's like, it seems just so,
Woo-woo.
I don't know, it's just like yeah, a little bit. Well, not even woo-woo. It's just something that people throw out. Yes, let's bring like minds together. And I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're with a like mind, you're like, wow, right? Seeing someone who's willing to stay up until 3 a.m. to get something done and bust her butt and contribute, and it's reciprocal. I'm like, whoa, I forgot that this was possible. I love it.
Yes, I am proud to say that I have put you to sleep.
Literally. So yes, okay. I love that. So you focus more on executive leadership, but I also know that you work with entrepreneurs and you have, right? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm Naja Hayward, and I'm a business strategist, and I support people in getting visible and bringing their beautiful ideas to life and profiting in doing so. And I started off creating a tea company almost 10 years ago, and in that process of really kind of accelerating quickly, started to get people asking me all kinds of questions. How do you brand? How do you market? How do you sell? How do you do all of these things that I was doing? And so then I started doing this thing called coaching. I had no idea what it was, right? It was like, coaching, well, okay. And actually my coach said, you should go out and you'd be a good coach. So I started coaching, and I realized, wow, tea is my passion, but coaching is my purpose. And so that's why I'm here today. But Monikah and I are here to really talk to you all about you. We're here to talk to you about, in January, many of you made New Year's resolutions. Many of you had big dreams and big goals for what you were going to accomplish this year. And some of you may be on track. A lot of people that I've spoken to, and I don't know about you, Monikah, are not. And so our mission in life, and I know I can speak on behalf of Monikah because we've had long late night conversations and singing. We've been singing at night and talking at night and teching at night and all of it. But we've talked about really the challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs are having. And so we want to just step back for a second. We want to support you over the next however long, half hour, whatever it ends up being, in where are you now? What happened that maybe you didn't get on track or stay on track? And what do you need to do over these next 146 days, I believe, to shift and get back? Okay? So
I was just looking at my calendar.
You want to talk first?
I was like, oh my gosh.
Is your calendar that high? So let's talk about, why do you think people make New Year's resolutions? I don't make New Year's resolutions. For me, my birthday is my new year, and I do a theme. But why do you think people make New Year's resolutions?
Well, all right, let's see. How far deep down the rabbit hole should we go?
Deep. Let's go deep down that rabbit hole. So,
right. So you know that the earth itself has cycles of birth and rebirth, right? And so if you notice that the earth starts to kind of like go into the dark moment and go into itself around the fall. It's called the fall for a reason. It falls into itself, right? And then there's winter, and it's kind of like hibernation and so forth. And then in the spring, it springs forth. It springs forward, right? And so the fall is really the new year for the earth, in the sense of a new cycle of new crops, et cetera, et cetera. However, when we started doing the Gregorian calendar and we started to use January as the beginning of a new calendar year, January is named like that after the Roman god Janus. And Janus was a double-headed god. So if you could just imagine two heads, sometimes I do have two heads, you know that, Janus.
Okay, you and me both, Mama, you and me both.
So one head is looking towards the future, the other head is looking towards the past. And so in January, a lot of times this is what we do. We're looking at what has transpired before, and what worked, what didn't work, what was missing, and then how we're going to take that forward to the following 12 months. And as a human condition, we are hardwired for hope. We are hardwired for innovation. We are hardwired to create. And so it behooves us, and we do this culturally, to say, okay, what's next? What are we creating next? What are we doing next? What are we going to do with this thing that we've created? We've already traveled down this path. What are we now going to travel down? And so that's one of the reasons why we create resolutions, because it allows us a fresh start, and it allows us to renew our commitments to maybe something that you declared before and you haven't yet created or generated in your life. And so this pause in a calendar gives you the renewed commitment to that goal that you said that you wanted to achieve. Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense. This is hilarious the way I'm trying to work this out. Angie said she sees it as a goal to attain. If you're on the cell phone, I would encourage you to go on over to Thrive, to the Thrive community, where I believe you will be able to experience this. Actually, hearing both Monikah and I together. So I'm going to take just a quick pause, because she's talking about some serious stuff. Like, this is not light information. And when you go into Thrive, you'll be able to click in and see this Google Hangout and really experience it. So what she has said in a nutshell is she took us back to historically on really why so it's about hope, right? It's about people are naturally, it's a part of just our soul to be hopeful. And so, okay, I just want to like grab you. You need to just get on the plane and get here.
No,
you need to be
I'm
live
coming.
and like,
I'm coming.
no Memorex. You are coming. Okay, so we're naturally born to be hopeful, right? Let's talk about what are some of the biggest things that we resolve to do in a new year, because there's like 5 key things that people just naturally start to want to recommit to. So in your experience, what are some things that people are naturally drawn to recommit to?
Okay, you mentioned 5. I'll start with a couple. If you can just remember that the way we are organized in our bodies is also the way that we are organized spiritually, as above, so below, right? And so in our bodies, we have these meridians, these energy meridians called chakras. I'm sure that your audience, my audience, is very familiar with those words. And so at the root chakra, you have this need for survival, this impulse to stay here. And a lot of the ways that we do that is by taking on health goals with our bodies and money goals.
Wait, say that again. I love that. So we have this natural impulse to stay alive. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's a survival mechanism, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay, I love this. Go on, because this is the stuff I love. Like, this is new and improved. Go on, girl. Work it out.
So at the root chakra, at the physical level, there are 2 common goals that we set when we do resolutions and whenever we create, a new objective. They typically begin a physical or survival conversation. So that's why so many of us I want to lose weight. I want to get fitter. I want to run that 5K or whatever, some kind of physical health body goal and some kind of financial goal. Those are all related to your root chakra. And then when you go beyond that with your sacral chakra represents your creativity, the way that you reproduce yourself. At the physical level, one of the most basic ways that you reproduce yourself is by having children. But you can also write books. You can also build businesses. You can also, create paintings. And the way that you are creative about your, like, for example, your tea blends, right? So there's a way that you create with reproducing yourself biologically. And so those are some of those goals. I want to write a book. And emotionally, in relationships. So I want to get closer to my husband, or I want to make sure that we do at least a date once a week, and so forth. And then you have your personal development goals that are aligned with your solar plexus. Your solar plexus has to do with your personal will. And so you might say to yourself, I want to read 52 books in a year. I want to read a book a week. Or I want to start my meditation practice, or I want to start a yoga practice, or something that is about you, your personal development. And then a little bit above that then is, of course, is your own spiritual unfoldment, right? So maybe you want to visit a sacred city in the world. Maybe you want to go to Egypt. Maybe you want to go to Machu Picchu, the pyramids in Machu Picchu, or something like that. You want to start deepening your spiritual roots. And so a lot of times when people do resolutions, when they do goals, when they do objectives, those are typically the places where they go, because those are really the foundation of what it takes for you to ascend and for your own self-actualization. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so you know what, let's see if I can. Oh, look at that. Is that like, love that, natural impulse to stay alive. Chris Gloss says, I love that, natural impulse to stay alive. Hey, Chris, you guys, thank you so much for being patient with all of this, like,
They see a little bit of your camera and the baking soda in the back.
There she is. There she is. Awesome. Hey, Chris. Yeah. So I agree that natural impulse to stay alive. That's actually really deep, right? Okay. So what happens then if we have this natural impulse to stay alive, and if we're kind of naturally hopeful, and if the new year, based on the Gregorian calendar, has been this opportunity for people to revisit and recommit, then what happens? Where do we fall off? Like, where is that natural impulse then to fall off? Like, what happened?
No, let me tell you what happens. Okay. You know this, Naja. You're setting me up because you know that I have a doctorate in psychology, and I am just passionate about the way that the human mind and the human spirit works. Now, a little background. Most of you know that the word psyche in Greek means soul. Did you know that?
No, I do now. I'm always learning some stuff with you. I love it.
So the word psyche from psychology comes from, psychology comes from the word psyche in Greek, and that word means soul. And so one of the ways that we have watered down or diluted our power to create is by conflating two separate distinctions, or simplifying distinct concepts. One is the mind and one is the soul. And so somewhere in the evolution of the field of psychology, we started calling it the study of the mind instead of the study of the soul.
Wow.
All right. So
okay. Oh, this is so interesting. Just really quickly. Okay, so what's so interesting is you also have, so you're a psychologist, but you also have a degree in, tell me
comparative religions.
Comparative religions, right? So you almost bridged that naturally. Yes, okay, good. Okay, tell us more.
Your connection is coming out.
I think you are too.
So, arm and a right arm. You have a left foot and a right foot. You have a left eye and a right arm. And you also have intuition and emotion and reason and logic. Okay. So just imagine that your reason and logic are your right hand, and your left hand is your emotion and intuition. Okay. A lot of times people think the left brain is the analytical. That's because there's a crossover in the, it's too deep, but anyway, okay. So left hand is your intuition and your emotion. Right hand is your logic and reason, okay?
Okay.
So you create this vision for your life with your emotion, with your intuition. It's the part of you that's emotional, the part of you that wants to create a better life, that is attached to your hope, that is attached to the understands that it needs change, understands that there's a bigger possibility out there, right?
Which is attached to that natural instinct, right? Then it goes back to that natural instinct, right?
Well, I'm gonna tie it in a second. It's tied
Okay.
to it, but in a different way.
Okay.
So you have this vision and you have this possibility thinking, right? But then you have what's called homeostasis, and it's like everything, all your systems in your way of being goes back to whatever is the most. Now, a lot of times people say, you go back to what's comfortable. Comfortable. Being broke is not comfortable. Being alone is not comfortable. Being defensive and cynical and sarcastic and pessimistic is not comfortable, but it's familiar. This is about, it takes you back to the piece of you that is the most familiar, that it has seen the most. So even though you say you're going to go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're not a morning person, no, ma'am, we do not do that. Okay, we go to sleep at 6 o'clock. We don't wake up at 6 o'clock. So then you're like, oh, but why? I said that I wanted to do this, and now I'm sabotaging myself. It's not sabotage as an external result, but what's happening is you're just going back to what you're used to. Does that make sense? You have to then connect with the arms and legs to execute on that vision, to make it happen. Right? It's kind of like if you're just walking around like a big old heart, arms and legs, you would go nowhere. You would be lovely and people would love you and they would see how sweet and amazing you are, but there'd be no practical use for you. It's kind of like saying, you're too heavenly to be any earthly good.
Literally, right? You know what, Monica, you are cutting out just a little bit. We have everyone who's on, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I see that we have 9 viewers. Love that. I know we're having a little bit of technical.
So I'm not sure if
I think it's a two-way street. We're both on a little bit of a cutout. So thank you for everyone who's watching. I just have to say I'm already getting great value from this. This is why I love your brain, Monica. So stick around. We'll work through the technological stuff. But you're okay. I can see you now.
I'm here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What was the last thing you heard?
The last thing that I heard, well, I heard everything that you were saying. Yeah. Are you here?
The last thing you heard me say.
The last thing that I heard was you were saying, basically, we want to do all of this. And then it was cutting in and out too much, and I was trying to stick around, and I was trying to roll with the punches.
Okay.
Talisha said, if you need some tech assistance, let me know.
She's awesome with making sure that the back scenes is working. Hi, Talisha.
Yes, she is.
All right, so imagine then that you're just walking around like this big old heart with all this vision and all this hope and all this, possibility. Chris, you mentioned Chris Gloss, he's the possibilitarian, right? So imagine that you have like all these possibilities and all this vision, but there are no arms and legs to actually walk the vision to reality. And so a lot of times the reason why we stop short is because we are expecting, you were like driving in a car, the map to get you there, and you have no engine.
That wouldn't work, right?
Does that make sense?
It does.
The map. What'd you say?
I said it does. You said it's like, you said that it's like not having an engine. Are we cutting out?
I can't hear you.
This is called technological difficulties. So.
Okay. Again.
So I can hear you fine. You just keep on talking. If you can't hear me, it's okay. Because what you're talking about is much more important than what I'm talking about right now.
All right. So then I'm going to say it again because it's important.
Yes.
Imagine that you get in a car to go somewhere, right? The map there. An engine. Right? You still need oil in the engine. Transmission. You still need to shift gears. get you to the same place that fifth gear is going to get you. And fifth gear is not available for everything either, right? In order for you to get started, you can't get started on fifth gear. You got to start on the first. Know these distinctions, then you can manage and navigate your path to your results a lot smoother. What tools you had at your disposal or what they were good for. The map is only good for one thing. Fuel of its own. You've got to bring the fuel in some other way. You've got to have an engine in some other way. And so what is the engine? What is the transmission? What is that thing? What is the fuel that gets you to move? So for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's a three-pronged approach. Pronged approach is, number one, you've got to get around a community of people that support you. Up for a big thing in their own lives. And so by being around them and their own goals and their own activity and their results and their celebrations, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I gotta get moving. Generated $50,000 in a week. What am I doing? You know.
First thing is surround yourself around people. You have to surround yourself with a community of people. Map plus fuel, exactly. Map plus fuel equals success. Without an engine, you go nowhere. So the first part of your engine as an entrepreneur is your community. Surrounding yourself with other people doing things that give you the energy, the fuel, the competition even possibly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, got it.
Comparisonitis, people talk about comparisonitis and how that sometimes paralyzes you. It paralyzes you if you don't know what to do with it. Competition is bad if you don't know what to do with it. Nothing is inherently right or wrong. It's how you use it.
Exactly.
If you see that you're surrounding yourself with people who are up to playing a big game and you're just, Miss Johnny come lately and you ain't got nothing going on, then you could go the way of feeling discouraged and fall off, or you could go the way of being inspired and get on your own game. How you're choosing it. You're always only managing your own orientation. And so that's the first thing, is getting around a community of people who uplift and up-level your game. Is getting around a mentor who has a better, I'm not going to say better, I'm going to say level of perspective. You have more years under your belt, when you have more experience under your belt, you have more perspective under your belt, then there are a lot of landmines and on the road that you see that somebody who is driving would not be able to see. You know how sometimes you're driving down the road that you've never been on before and you had no idea there was a pothole until you're like, bam, and you dip and you jacked up something in your car.
Yeah, so I've been there.
That path before, who has driven down that road before, then that person can say, you might want to swerve a little bit around here, because if you don't swerve, you're going to jack up your car. And then what happens?
Okay, so first is community.
Some people
second is mentor.
My way anyway.
It is true. So many people say, I'm going to do it my way anyway. So second is a mentor. You need a mentor who's going to help guide you, who has a higher perspective, more experience, who's been where you are and who is where you desire to be, and who can guide you. I hope y'all can see this. I see you out there. So let me know if you're out there. Let me know that you can hear Monikah and that this is helpful, okay? If this is of value to you right now, please share it. Despite the fact that there might be a little bit of glitches in our technology, it's really good information. Very, very good information. And we'll definitely be sharing this as well. So if you're not already a part of Thrive Entrepreneurs community here on Facebook, then please head on over now, because we will have this recording for you as well. Okay, so I'm going to jump in. Thank you for the hearts, Miss Talisha, Miss Scope Scribe. You got 2 fans over here. Chris said he can hear great.
I love how she's like become to scribe, right? She's like taking notes and everything.
She comes to work.
Yeah. She's not joking. She's like, listen, I am already a contribution. Where do you want me, and what should we do? Okay, so when you have a mentor, somebody who has walked down that path before, then you have the advantage of having someone to, as you're driving, because you know how when you're driving you can't see the whole road. By a mentor, that mentor can say, you need to swerve here, because otherwise you're going to jack up your car. So that gives you the ability to go faster. There's an African verb that says, if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And you have surrounded yourself with a community of people, of peers who up-level your game just by being who they are and by them going after their own dreams, and a mentor who provides that level of perspective, then you can go far and fast in either order.
Far and fast, community and mentors.
And then the third piece that you have to have is just your own oomph. You know, I talk a lot about unlocking your inner CEO. We are all very familiar with the inner saboteur. We're all very familiar with the inner critic. Says, who do you think that you are? You don't have what it takes. And then has this litany of evidence of all the ways in which you have fallen short, all of the promises you've made to yourself that you've not made good on. So, you know, that advocate, and by devil, I don't mean evil. I mean backwards. If you look at the word evil, it just means live backwards. And so it's looking at the opposite, at the part of you that sabotages. It's looking at the part of you that takes you the opposite direction of what you say you want. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I think we've all been there. I think
divorce, for any kind of legal matter. I missed what you said.
No, it's okay. Go on. I'm just gonna listen because it's easier. Yeah, if you've ever been to court.
Then you know that you have to prepare yourself. Whether you are the plaintiff or the defendant, you've got to know what the other side has and what you've got to come to the table with in order for you to make your case. And a lot of times what happens is inner saboteur, who does its job marvelously, you put an inner saboteur on its job and it will cut your knees from under you. That is what it is supposed to do. That, don't be mad. They're just on their job. And so, but you come to court and then you're unprepared. This servitor who reminds you of all the places where you've fallen short. But the point is not to paralyze you. The point is to galvanize you. This saboteur is actually on your team. Giving you evidence of all the places where you have fallen short. Giving you evidence of all the places where you said one thing and you did another. This isn't supposed to make you, you know, put your tail between your legs and go away and be of no good to anybody, including yourself. It's supposed to galvanize you. It's supposed to say, yeah, but you know what? Not today. I said I was going to go to the gym at 6 o'clock this morning and I didn't do it, but I'm going to go now. You've got to create this relationship with your inner saboteur where it's information. It's not an indictment. Looking at making the best rest of your year, you've got to be able to take in this information and then do something with it. Look at, you know, we said we're going to be here by June, here by July, here by August, and I'm not even where I was supposed to be in February. I might as well just hang it up and wait till next year. No. Quit. You do not have to take yourself out of the game. You could just use this as information. That you have this information. If you continue to go the way that you've been going for the past 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, or whatever it's been, you're not going to get to where you want to go. You have this information. If you're not resisting it, if you're not hiding from it, if you're not kind of like, you know, putting your head in the sand to make sure that you are in denial about it, now that you have some information, now you can do something with it. What were you going to say, Naja?
So one of the things that I find is that sometimes the map shifts for people, right? And rather than so let's say that the plan was, I want to make $100,000, right? It's an easy number. I want to make $100,000 in this year. And so come 6 months. And so in January, they may have a very loose plan on how they're going to do that, right? But they haven't necessarily really created a solid map. Okay, what do I need to do in my marketing? What do I need to do? What kind of sales do I need to do? What are the programs, products, courses? What will I be launching? When will I be launching it? Who will I bring on my team to help me Will I create affiliates with other people? Will I create partnerships with other people? Do I need to hire a mentor to hold me accountable? Because I know in the past when I've made commitments to myself and when I've made goals or resolutions that I have fallen off. So it is historically, I've shown that this may be a habit for me. So they don't create that solid map up front. So now that we're in month 7 of the year, right? Yeah. Can they shift and can they create that map now?
Yeah. And the thing is that you have to get cleanly honest. And there's a difference between being brutally honest and being cleanly honest. Being brutally honest, there's a little bit of maliciousness there. There's a little bit of judgment in there. There's a little bit of indictment in there, guilt making. I don't need you to do any of that. I don't need you to do any of that. What you do need to do, though, is be cleanly honest. There's some things that have been going on in your business, in your finances, in your relationships, in your body that you have been pretending not to know. You've been pretending that cheese Danish at 3 o'clock in the morning isn't going to make a difference. It's true, one won't, but the 50 you've been having, you know what I mean? That adds up.
Yeah, the nightly, yeah.
Yes. And so, yeah, it's true that, going to the mall and splurging and spending $500 here or there won't make a difference. But if you do that every week, if you do that every month, it adds up. And so what you need to do is get cleanly honest about the things that you have not copped to yourself. You don't have to announce it on social media. You don't even have to write it down in your journal. Just be clear about it with yourself so that you can start, just like your inner saboteur has this stack of evidence of all the places where you have fallen short. You now can start creating a stack of evidence of the places where you have fallen, come through for yourself. So it starts by saying, all right, so am I still committed to this goal? Because maybe you're not. Maybe you just set it because it's a nice goal to have, because everybody's doing it, because it'll make your mom proud, or it'll make your husband proud, or it'll make your children proud, but it's nothing to do with what you want. So get clear on, is this really what I want to do? And if it is what I want to do, given that I haven't completed it, given that I'm not on track for it, what I have been doing is not going to get me there. So what needs to shift internally in my way of being and externally in my activity and behavior so that I can get to this goal that I say is important to me? Since I already know that there's an inner saboteur that has more evidence about the ways that I've jacked it up than I have about the ways that I've fallen through, then what support structures do I need to put in place to support me as I get myself onto my own big 2 spiritual feet to be able to follow through on this? And I know we're talking about business stuff, right? We're talking about revenue. We're talking about client rosters and so forth.
But I never think just about that.
And what'd you say?
I never think it's never just about business, right? It's never just how you do one thing is how you do everything. So they say that.
Yep.
And so if in fact you are having these habits in your business, then you also need to look at where are they happening in your relationships and how you're playing out in your health and how you're playing out in whatever other areas in your life.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, and here's a little trick, just so that if you're not aware of this yet, let me just disabuse you of the notions you can get around this. There's this little trick that we smart people do. And this is very, very common among intelligent people. And that is that you want to figure something out and you want to understand something before you move. You want to understand how you sabotage yourself. You want to understand what childhood dysfunction generated this pattern for you. And you get into this analysis paralysis for yourself. And I'm here to tell you, you are in an emergency situation, whether it's an emergency room, whether it's a war zone, anything that requires fast Sitting there trying to figure some shit out isn't going to help you. That's paralysis. So what you want to do is, you know what? I'm going to suspend my need to understand where this came from, and I'm just going to interrupt the pattern.
Did you hear that? I'm speaking. She was speaking to you directly.
Where this came from, and I'm just going to interrupt the pattern. What'd she say?
I just had to do a little side conversation with Facebook over here and let them know that you are speaking directly to all of them. Talisha said over here, she said information, not indictment. Check, check, check. She's like, yes, she co-signed on that.
Yeah. So what you want to do is, all right, so what's going to interrupt this pattern, right? If you have a pattern of being busy for busy's sake, but not producing results, then what's going to interrupt the pattern of no results? Results. Heather. So
yes.
Right? If you said I'm gonna get myself on some top level podcast so that I can start increasing my visibility, this is not the time to think about it. This is the time to do it. Make the phone calls, send the emails, of course, think about organizing a well-developed pitch, but not thinking about, oh, who am I? And I don't have what it takes. And do I have enough degree? That's not the thinking that needs to be happening right now. This is time to produce results. And so the opportunity that you have at this juncture, now that we're in August, is I would encourage you to make a list of all of the things that you said that you wanted to accomplish. What would make 2016 year, even if you've been sleeping for the past 8 months and you just woke up today, what would need to happen by December that would make 2016? Write all that stuff down.
Yeah.
Right next to it, 3 columns. Here's the exercise for you, since people love for me to give them homework. Here's the homework. Take a piece of paper and write 2 lines so that you create 3 columns. And on the left column, you write down all of the things that would have to happen, the result. Don't get busy, get results. So what's the result that would have to happen that would make 2000 super kick-ass for you? 2016 would be a kick-ass year if I made X amount of dollars. 2016 would be a kick-ass year if I appeared on X podcast. 2016 would be a kick-ass year if I met up with such and such as my mentor, or whatever, right? Make a list of all of those things. What will it take from you to make that happen? Right side. Leave the one in the middle alone for now. On the right side, what will it take from you? Take sending emails. Maybe it'll take going to that person's particular live event. Maybe it'll take making a list of the folks that you want to work with and approaching them by a phone call, by an email, or whatever the case may be. What it'll take from you, being wise and behavior wise. And then in the middle, write down the things that would get in the way. Making that happen. You see how it's in the way of the goal and the way to do it?
Yes, I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So you write down all the things that would get in the way of actually making that happen. And you just tell on yourself. When I don't know what to do, I check out. I go to sleep. Eat sugar or coffee or whatever. I just numb myself. And so I'm not even available to be creative and resourceful or whatever. You got to get really, really cleanly honest with yourself. And so by the time that you get to your desk or you get to the phone and you start thinking, okay, I'm going to do it, and yay, this in front of you so that when that sabotaging behavior comes, you're already prepared. You already saw it coming. You already know it's in the way of your objective. And it is doing its job by being in the way of your objectives. What are you going to do to get to your objectives? How are you going to be on your job? Does that make sense?
Yes. Chris said, preach. He said, this is not the time to think about it. Action.
That's right. Chris is amazing. Chris is awesome. So these are some of the things that you can do to make the rest of your year the best of your year. And you're going to have an opportunity come December, if you still choose to have that Gregorian calendar pattern, you're going to have an opportunity in December when everybody else is eating, family time and so forth. You're going to have some quiet time to think about all the things that you did and did not do, to the things that you accomplished and the things that you fell short in. You're going to have time to reflect and to figure out what worked and what didn't work, what was missing, and what will be better next time. Now, September, October, this is not the time.
Yep. No, this is crunch time.
Tell yourself
right?
all the ways in which you are insufficient and all the ways in which you don't have what it takes. This is not the time. Right? That's why if you've ever seen any kind of boxing movie, right, and the guy is like in his corner and the coach is like, prepping him up and giving him water and putting the thing back in his teeth, and that is not the time I need a break. No, you have 30 seconds between rounds. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know which season you're in, and you're in the season of get it done right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so right now then we are in a space. If you had a goal in January, and I know you all had a goal in January, now what it's time to do is recommit to that, right? And so you're going to create a spreadsheet or a Word document or whatever it is, and you're going to create 3 columns. On the first side, you're going to say outcome. What is the outcome that you desire? You want to make $100,000 by December, 12 new clients by the end of the year, whatever that list is for you. The last column, what is it that you need, right? What is it that you need in order to accomplish that goal? And then in the middle column, it's what is the resistance, or what is the thing that holds you back from accomplishing it, right? So that's your homework assignment. And I believe that that can be such a powerful opportunity for you to really be introspective and look at yourself and be honest. I think you said the word honest, I don't know how many times, Monikah, and I think that that's one of the things we need as entrepreneurs, we need to continue to do, is look at ourselves, our behavior. How are we saying one thing that we desire, and how are we actually working toward that or not working toward that? So just be honest, not good, not bad, not make it right, not make it wrong, but be honest, because in that space, it gives you an opportunity to revisit yourself and even revisit your desires and see if, in fact, those things are really what you want, or if you're just spewing what you were taught to say or what someone else wanted for you. So that's a great homework assignment. Okay, well, you know what, Missy, close us out. Like you got this. Close us out.
Well, should we tell them what we got cooking?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, why would we want to tell them about an amazing opportunity to like support them in the rest of the year? I mean, you know.
So listen, there are 4 pillars, I want to say 4 pillars. If we take this beyond the personal development piece and your own personal growth, as far as making the rest of this year the best of your year, if you want to focus it on your business, there are 4 pillars that you need to make sure that you've got mastered. We've talked a lot about the first one, which is the mindset and the spiritual foundation that it takes for you to be the leader, so to speak, that would have a successful business happen. Okay. And I want to inculcate that and underscore that, because you will never outperform yourself. And that is not an indictment, it is a law.
Say it one more time. You will never outperform yourself. Say that one more time.
You will never outperform your self-image.
You will never outperform your self-image. Yes.
Now, let me tell you what the difference is. Identity has already been determined by your creator. Or is not up to you. Who you perceive yourself to be, interpret yourself to be. So
I hope you all are getting this.
You know, that pen that Rafa, say again?
You're cutting out, but I think that they may be able to hear you a little bit better than I can. So I'm just saying, I hope that they can hear you. I hope that they're getting this.
I hope so. So I could
Mm-hmm.
pretend that Rafael Ogando is not my biological father all I want, but the DNA proves that he is.
Uh-huh.
And I could cut him off from my relationship with me. I could ignore him. I could not talk to him. I could do a lot of things behavior and activity wise, but that would not change my identity. Biologically, I
Mm-hmm.
am Rafael Ogando's daughter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same way, you could do a lot of things, activity and behavior wise, that would have somebody believe that you're no good, that you're inadequate, that you don't have what it takes, blah, blah, blah. And that's part of your self-image. But who you are,
Mm-hmm.
complete emanation of the divine. And I know that some people don't like to hear the spiritual mixed in with the business, but it's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You as a perfect whole and complete emanation of the mind, that's just who you are. You can pretend to be something else if you want to, but that's who you are. And you will not be able to outperform your self-image. Your identity stays intact, but your self-image is up to you. And so when you get clear on the person that you want to be and the image that you want to portray, not as a show, in
Mm-hmm.
alignment with your own creator, and then you're going to need a couple of things. Then you're going to need the support and the structures to make your business work. Just like when you have children, you spend a lot of time, changing diapers and putting a boobie in their mouth so they can get well fed, and taking them to school and making sure they learn how to read and write and so forth. And at some point, that child grows up to be an adult and turns around and takes care of you. Your business is just like that. Your business is one of your children. You spend a lot of time putting in systems and structures and making sure that it's functional, that it has the scaffolding to stand on its own. And at some point, your business, you should be able to just let go and for it to take care of you. If you're not there yet, you have either enabled a grown person to be a child, because some of you have been doing business for 15 years, but you've really just been doing the first year 15 times.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or you haven't been clear about where the phases of business growth are, and you just need some support to get there. To those last two pillars, which is you need to know how to communicate who you are, what you do for people, and who you do it for. That's part of your marketing, it's part of your branding. But then underneath that, you need to be able to have conversations to create transformation for people. As a business owner, as a leader, as somebody who's a change agent in the world, some people are not interested in that. Or perhaps they don't have the articulation to say that. They don't say, well, I don't really do anything to transform the world. But you know what they do? They're farmers, and they bring wholesome, good food to people that is free of chemicals, etc. I don't know what is more transformative in this day and age than wholesome nutrition. But that's another topic for another day. But what I'm saying is, whatever it is that you do, you've got to be able to communicate it in such a way from a place of contribution and not just features and benefits. People always talk about, talk about the benefits. I'm not really interested about benefits either. I want to know at this point in life, in the world, I want to know, how is the world going to be better because you're in it? If you can communicate your offer and your transformation in your business in that way, then you are heads and shoulders above anybody else who offers something similar. For cheaper, or stores, or whatever the case may be. Naja and I have gotten together, and we are going to do a 1-day live boot camp to help you put those pieces together. Getting the mindset and the spiritual foundation of yourself, your personal leadership, setting up that foundation so that you then are available to set up the systems and the structures, what those systems and structures are and should be given your business model. Some people don't know what their business model is, or who they offer it to, who their ideal client is, or what systems and structures they need to have so that they don't have to work 37 hours a day, even though there's only 24, right? And so you want to know what those systems and structures are, and then the marketing and sales and communication strategies that you need to have in order to get visible and get out there and talk about what you do in such a way that selling becomes superfluous. That's how I define marketing, is having a conversation about what you do that is so compelling that selling becomes superfluous. It's like, it's of course. right?
Yeah.
And so you want to go to bizblissbootcamp.com to learn more. The boot camp is going to happen in Los Angeles, August 17th.
Bizblissbootcamp.com. Biz, B-I-Z, Bliss, B-L-I-S-S, bootcamp.com.
Mm-hmm. And we have some special rates for people who are private clients of Naja, private clients of mine. If you guys want to find out how to avail yourself of those hookups, then by all means send us a private. And what we want to do, my intention, and I know I can speak for Naja to say this, our intention is to equip the Business Bliss Bootcamp with a step-by-step, custom-made action plan for you to be able to execute the rest of 2016. And some people may walk away from a one-day mastermind and say, okay, what's next? And they want to work with us. That's awesome. But if you don't, I still want you to be empowered to be able to know what to do next, with or without us. And so that is available to you on August 17th. We also have some live stream tickets for people who are not local to the area, but still want to avail themselves of the boot camp. So make sure that you PM us, and we'll let you know how to get that. And it's just an opportunity for you to, from your regular environment, go to an environment where you are having the community and the mentor, and you can call yourself to task on your own accountability and willfulness to make sure that you create a plan that will make 2016 the most amazing year yet. Even though we're right in the middle of it and more than half of it is gone, you can still make it the best year yet. Right, Naja?
Absolutely. And interestingly enough, you may be thinking, I had this big goal. How am I going to do that in 4 months? I promise you it's possible. I know that firsthand. I know Monikah has accomplished great things in a short amount of time, and we want to support you through that. So you can join us on August 17th. Biz Bliss Bootcamp is where you can find out more information. You can we did a pretty good job of giving you some great information on what the day will be like. You can register. If you have questions, you can PM Monikah, you can PM me. You can just, call Talisha, because she'll know, because, she just knows everything. We love you, Talisha, for supporting us as always. And again, if you're not a member of the Thrive Entrepreneurs community, please head on over there. You can also join, what's your group called?
That's another thing. That's another funny thing. When I started getting to know one another, it blew my mind that my Facebook group is called the Thrive Tribe of Entrepreneurial Leaders, and her group is called Thrive Entrepreneurs. And I promise
Thrive Tribe of Entrepreneurial Leaders is Monikah's group. Totally unrelated. We did not know. Neither one of us were a member of each other's groups. Obviously, we are now. So there were so many areas where we were completely simpatico. And I adore you. Thank you so much for all of your wisdom, your generosity, your heart, your spirit, your intellect, your humor. We love you. We thank you. I hope that you all will join us on August 17th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, like minds indeed. Talisha, you as well are a like mind. If you can come out to LA, we hope that you would join us as well. And also, we also like to have fun. So you know what? There is no business without pleasure. So join us, and we'll talk to you and see you on the other side. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.